Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be talking about some very interesting information about future expansions, a little bit more details on what we could be seeing next as far as, sort of the next DLC could be, and a whole lot more. So if you've been a subscriber of mine for over a year, you know that right before Import-Export came out in 2016, we actually started focusing on some very interesting leaks that were coming out on the website 4chan. And they were coming from this Rockstar insider who apparently had all the correct information for not only the Bikers update, but for the Import-Export DLC. This guy provided the names of vehicles, he provided the names of the missions we were going to be doing, the sort of features we were going to be getting in the update, the weapons, etc. This guy got everything right. It was clear that he either worked at Rockstar or had a very reputable inside source. Now, after Import-Export came out, this guy completely vanished. A lot of people speculated that he was fired or that this was sort of just a one-time thing he was doing. He rarely came back and posted to 4chan, and when he did, it wasn't particularly about Grand Theft Auto Online or GTA 5. Well, today that story changes as our mysterious leaker has come out of hiding to give us a little bit of information on a future update that unfortunately looks like it will never happen. So I'm not totally well versed on how 4chan works, but it looks like there was a question and then his response was the answer. So Anonymous asked, still no news on a San Fierro / Las Venturas expansion DLC. And then our famous Rockstar insider responded by saying never happening. So we might have assumed this was already the case. I never expected Rockstar to do something crazy like a full-blown map expansion to San Fierro or Las Venturas, even though there are some pretty incredible concepts that would make a really awesome GTA map that Rockstar could pretty much take and implement into the world itself. But apparently an expansion like that is never happening. And if this guy is still the insider we know and believe he is from a year ago, I think that this is true. And what I also think this means is that any type of expansion around this size, whether it's to another city or whether it involves something else, is probably not going to happen either. So this definitely saddens me because that was by far one of the better parts of GTA San Andreas, a game that came out on the PS2. Being able to go from Los Santos to Las Venturas to San Fierro. That was one of the best parts of that game, going from city to city. And the fact that we don't have that really at all in GTA 5 is kind of a bummer. So that's the first bit of information. It looks like a San Fierro or Las Venturas expansion is never going to happen in GTA 5 or Grand Theft Auto Online for that matter. So that makes me kind of sad right there. Moving on, we have some more information from Fun MW2 regarding a potential next DLC in online. So Mach 1 Bud said, I still doubt any sort of naval update will ever happen. And FunMW2 chimes in and says, I will say it's a possibility. For example, the submarine prop doesn't fit for the interior, but I saw them adding many other props that could fit for certain DLCs, but that never happened. So I'm kind of in the same boat as FunMW2 here, is I still think it's a possibility. For number one, what he mentioned, like Rockstar adding the submarine prop, which would be perfect for a future expansion. Rockstar could build off of interiors that they added in the Doomsday Heist and previous DLCs. But also number two, it is like the sort of the one theme, at least business-wise, that Rockstar really hasn't covered. You know, they've done land vehicles, air vehicles. The only thing they really haven't shown a whole lot of love for is sea-based vehicles. And I feel like there's a lot of things in the game, like for example, the submarine prop, the aircraft carrier that was added in the original heist update, the yachts that were added in the Executives and Other Criminals update. So there's a lot of water-based things we have in the game that could be a nice building block or starting point for Rockstar to sort of jumpstart a naval or a water or sea-based update or something like that. So honestly, for me in Grand Theft Auto Online, that's one of the few updates that I think I'd like to see. I'd like to see something involving nightclubs and big mansions, as I feel like that's something that's been underexplored. I feel like some sort of off-road theme would be pretty cool too, that really has us focused up in Blaine County and Sandy Shores and Paleto Bay. But then I'd love to see some sort of naval, military, aqua, sea-based update. I feel like that could be a lot of fun if done right. and I feel like Rockstar would make it wacky and crazy enough that it would be pretty enjoyable. Now let's move on to some information from WildBrick142, who's a staff member on the GTA forum site. He was responding to a question that was, I noticed the tooltip for stealth on the Akula says this vehicle is in stealth mode, which either is just tidy coding to allow it or evidence for future stealthiness. And WildBrick says, in addition, the game has its own script for stealth vehicles, vehicle stealth mode. I wouldn't mind more stealth vehicles in the future, especially land and sea vehicles. So that kind of ties in really nicely to what we just talked about for the sea or naval update is it would make sense if Rockstar added more stealth-based vehicles in the game like we saw with the Akula. And I think this is Rockstar's way of trying to help us combat griefers, even though the vehicle they added it on is like a super griefer vehicle. It's really weird. It can be like an anti-griefer tool and like a super griefer tool. So I'm not sure what they were going for there. But typically when we see Rockstar add like either a script or a feature in the game, they really start to build off of it. So with the illumination clothing feature, that was originally only for the Tron suits, I think. But since then, they've added a bunch of clothing that can be illuminated as well. And with the stealth vehicle feature, I wouldn't mind a land vehicle that has the stealth option. A sea-based vehicle with the stealth option would be really cool because not a lot of people go out in the ocean, so that would almost totally camouflage you. So yes, more stealth-based vehicles would actually be kind of awesome. And I feel like Rockstar really balanced it pretty well. Like in stealth mode, you don't actually have the ability to fire your weapons. I think if I was making it, I would have made a little bit of a longer delay between going in stealth mode and when you could fire your weapons, just to make sure people aren't like super griefing with it. But I still think Rockstar did a pretty good job at balancing that. Moving on, now I'm not sure when these are going to be used or if they will be used, but WildBrick has found some very interesting IAA outfits for our characters. So it consists of t-shirts in 6 colors, 2 pictured and white, beige, yellow, black, and dark red, a t-shirt that is tucked that also comes in 6 colors, an IAA badge and belt badge, an IAA badge, a gun belt, and then a gun but no belt. So again, you're seeing the outfits on the screen right now. I'm not sure when we're going to be using these. Number one, I thought we would have used them in something like the Doomsday Heist when we directly worked with the IAA. But number two, this may be something for one of the potential adversary modes coming up. We have hardest target and then air quota. So it kind of seems unlikely, but that's like the only thing I could think of. Or number two, maybe this is just unused content. We'll never see the light of day of it in online. But number three, potentially Rockstar could use this in a future update. So it's definitely kind of interesting to think what Rockstar will do with our protagonist next, because if you think about it, it would assume that it would be pretty difficult to top everything that we've pulled off in the Doomsday Heist, where we literally save the world. But maybe Rockstar will continue our character's story and these IAA agent outfits will be used going forward. That's something interesting to think about. Now, there's also an earpiece that goes with the outfit. It's considered a mask according to WildBrick. So again, very interesting stuff right there that our characters will be having that. Again, I'm not sure why this wasn't introduced with the Doomsday Heist, as I feel like that outfit would have been really appropriate. But again, maybe Rockstar will consider using it sometime down the line. Moving on, someone asked WildBrick an interesting question. They stated, is it possible that there's maybe a chance for a low-end type of update in the files? Basically, this person was asking if anything in the files maybe hinted at a future update. And WildBrick said if the files had anything, it would have probably been found by now. So we've seen Rockstar do that in the past with the gun running like bunker logo and the ammo little icon that was found. But there was nothing that was done in this sort of update. Again, that would have come out ages ago, so nothing like that has been found. And that's what's so interesting is the next update, as of now, looks to be very much a mystery. And the final thing I want to end on today is just something a lot of people have been asking me, and that's when we'll receive any official information from Rockstar in the next update. That's not going to be for a while. So we still have a ton of drip feeding vehicles, one that's going to be released tomorrow and online. So until we get past all of that, it's very unlikely we'll see anything official from Rockstar on the next update. Now, there is a chance that a leak could come out in some way, shape, or form. If something credible does end up occurring, I'll be sure to cover it on the channel. But for now, it's really just anyone's best guess as to what will be occurring. And in the case of the San Fierro and Las Venturas DLC, what won't be occurring in online. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. I know we covered a lot of subjects, but let me know what you think in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.